For my first DIY, I will be showing you how I created this shell ring dish. The first thing that you will need is a shell. I then painted my shell with rose metallic nail polish, but you can also use liquid leaf paint. I applied 2 coats of nail polish and let it dry for about 20 minutes. I absolutely love this summer DIY. It was cheap, quick, and easy to make. To create this super cute watermelon doorstop, you will need some acrylic paint, a wooden doorstop, and some paintbrushes. After painting the doorstop white, you can then go ahead and start painting the pink part of the watermelon. After that, I painted on a thick green line for the rind of the watermelon. After everything is dried, dip your paintbrush into acrylic black paint and create teardrop shapes onto the pink flesh part of the watermelon. I also added a lighter and darker green to the rind of the watermelon to give it a more realistic feel. This DIY came out so good. Not only did it cost me virtually nothing because I had all these items at home, but it's going to look so nice propping up your door during the summer. For my third summer DIY, you will need a pot, a Sharpie or dry erase marker, some rocks, and an air plant or succulent. If you'd like the design to stay on permanently, you can go ahead and use a Sharpie marker. But if you're like me and you want this to stay seasonal, go ahead and use a dry erase marker. Let's pause this clip real quick so I can show you how to create this design. It looks like an upside down V or a mountain with a dot in the middle. It's super simple and easy to do. If you went with the dry erase marker, be careful not to smudge it, and go ahead and take your rocks, I got these from the dollar store, and pour them into your pot. Make a little space for your air plant and put it right on top. I had 2 different ones, so I tried to figure out which one looked more like a pineapple, so the second one did, and I went with that. This DIY was super quick and cheap. I already had these plants, so all I did was spruce up the pot. Little details like this can really transform your room from spring to summertime. To create this super cute summer DIY, you will need a glue gun, some scissors, a wooden letter, and some flowers. I got these from the dollar store. The first thing that I did was use my scissors to cut off the stem of all the flowers. This will help them lay flat onto the letter. Then glue on your largest flowers using your glue gun. After you've done that, fill in the gaps with smaller flowers. You may have to move some of the larger flowers out of the way to get into those little tiny gaps. There are technically 2 looks for this. You can go ahead and stop now if you like the way it looks, or you can keep cutting away at the flowers that are hanging out further than the letter to make it a more defined shape. This flower letter came out so cute and it looks great for the summertime. For my 5th DIY, you will need a mason jar, a candle, old shell necklaces, and some scissors. The first step is to use your scissors to break apart your shell necklaces. After that, go ahead and pour them in your mason jar. I just continued to fill my mason jar with all the necklaces that I had. I am so proud of myself for thinking of this DIY because these old shell necklaces are so outdated, nobody wears them anymore. But they do still hold a special meaning within my heart because I bought these on all the vacations that I've went to with my family, so it's nice to be able to still have them, but actually use them. It's that simple. You put a candle in and you light it and you put it on your desk and you get that nice beachy vibe. To create this final summer DIY, you'll need some picture frames and printable art. I found my artwork on Pinterest just by searching free printable summer art. If you'd prefer to use the same ones I have, then I'll leave the links in the description box below. Here's a little tip. I use watercolor paper because it's so much thicker and the texture makes it look store-bought, but you could also use cardstock paper. After printing my summer artwork onto watercolor paper, I then taped on the backing of my picture frame and shined a light behind it to make sure that it was perfectly centered. Using a pencil, I traced around the picture frame so I know where to cut. Lastly, put the artwork in your frame and then you can go decorate your room. I'm in love with this DIY. Using printable art is so effortless, and it gave my room that summer beachy feel.